One of the most damaging things an abuser does isn't just the abuse itself, it is how they minimize it, especially when a child is involved. When an abuser interferes with a child's relationship with their other parent, they rarely call it what it is. They don't say, "I'm cutting off access," or "I'm using our child to control you." Instead, they minimize. They disguise it as concern, protection, or setting boundaries. Sometimes they even claim it's the child's own choice. But the behavior always tells a different story. It harms the child, and it harms the targeted parent. The abuser knows this behavior would be condemned if it were labeled accurately, so they shrink it. They soften it. They reframe it with phrases like, "I'm not stopping contact, I'm just setting conditions." Minimization works by shifting your attention away from the impact and onto the language they use. The focus becomes their supposed intent, not the actual outcome. Their motive, not the harm they're causing. Meanwhile, a child is losing a parent. That child learns that connection is fragile, conditional, and depends on someone else's approval. They learn to suppress their own excitement, to hide their affection, and to constantly manage adult emotions just to get by. They adapt to survive, and that very adaptation is then twisted and used as proof that no abuse is happening. The abuser will point to the child's distance and say, "See? This is what the child wants. But the child didn't choose this. The environment shaped it." Minimization also shields the abuser from any real accountability. If the harm is framed as small, temporary, or reasonable, then no one feels the urgency to intervene. Time slips by. These destructive patterns become deeply ingrained, and the damage gets harder and harder to reverse. What's truly dangerous is that the child starts to absorb this same minimization. They learn to downplay their own pain, to believe that this kind of loss is normal, and that love has to be rationed. All the while, the targeted parent is left carrying the full weight of this grief mourning a living child while being told that nothing serious is even happening. This isn't a simple misunderstanding. It's not poor communication or a mutual conflict. Minimizing this kind of obstruction is a deliberate strategy that allows emotional abuse to continue without consequence. Thank you for listening. If this resonates with you, please share this video. You never know who might need to hear it.